Recap the last issue. I handcrafted the M2 Browning heavy machine gun. Yep, M2HB. Using a laser cutter, lathe, and my own hands. And only 1% of the cost. I precisely replicated the appearance of the M2HB, and I explained in detail all the structures and principles as a non-firing film prop. Suitable for post-production. Then I casually made this UGCP, Unmanned Ground Combat Platform. Then there's it, my newly developed M2 PC-cockpit, in the last issue.
Cluvens,
I think sway, Squad.
开汤。
Yes, Commander.
After all, as the founder of the PC-cockpit industry, numerous models of such products have been my core business for over 10 years. As for I built M2HB BMG just for the clout, but some clients pointed out my ammo box isn't mounted on the side. And since we already have the M2, how can there be no standard M3 tripod? And the vehicle mount. So, make it.
欢迎来到克洛维斯实验室，我是阿布。
Given the extremely high price of genuine accessories, of course I'll process it with my hands. Let's skip the step of laser cutting steel plates. Look at this table full of parts, like puzzles. And both of them. 2 M2HB BMG, semi-finished. In the previous video, there was a complete production process. These are 2 from the latest batch. Of course, it's not the protagonist in this episode. These are all the parts of the M3 tripod. This is the standardized quick release shaft of the M3 tripod. Yes, the tripod of the M2HB BMG is called the M3 tripod. In fact, this desktop also includes MK38 and MK93 modules. Put a pin in it. And now, let's start with this M3 tripod worth $2,500.
开汉。
Of course, the M2 tripod exists, but it is used for the M1919 machine gun, and much smaller than the M3 of the M2 machine gun. In addition, the M2 machine gun also has the latest M205 tripod, just far inferior to the classic M3 tripod. The traditional process for this pivot base is stamping. I switched to laser cutting and splicing welding. After all, I have no intention of mass production, but the size specifications are still very standard. And this is a part of the MK93 module, another component worth $2,500. The retail price in the US, Jesus. Fortunately, I only need a 20th of the cost. Maybe you can't tell what I'm welding now, specifically what it's for. Please wait a moment, you will see the effect soon. As the central pivot, the machine gun will be installed here shortly. And this shaft is also divided into 3 models, such as this one. As the pintle adapter, control the locking, rotation, and quick release. And fixed on the standing shooting bracket, or installed on the roof of a Hummer, pickup, or Wesley Jeep. I am doing all of these and more, even including a Benz Smart. It is currently in Liaoning, China. It's my client's wife's old car, and I converted it into a computer cockpit for him and put it in his garage. Details await my follow-up video. This is the bracket for the ammunition box, and also small parts such as recoil buffers. Let's just skim over those. This is the fixed slider under the machine gun, which allows the gun body to move horizontally. And this T&E, used for fine-tuning traverse and elevation, and used to select the left shoulder or right knee to aim at a target 300 meters away. This beautiful smoke, coming from a hot front leg. Meanwhile, my arms are almost smoking from being roasted. Now try installing the 2 hind legs. I need to speed up the progress. The traversing bar. Fold. Telescoping. Lock ring. And the gun spade. Now it's finally starting to look like something, not just welding random useless parts together. Then install the MK93 and the T&E. Followed by the ammunition can and 50 BMG cartridges. To be sure, just a bunch of fired. There are approximately 130 rounds, weighing about 33 pounds. Although these are merely empty brass, they still amount to $500. Well, it feels like holding a python. Now loading the ammunition can. By the way, this ammunition belt was also made by myself. And put it into the fixed track. Actually, this lid was welded upside down. It's okay, not a big problem. And this big pintle adapter, it is not installed here. So, deploy shield. And naval pedestal. Typically, this can be mounted on various flat surfaces. And use this pivot to install MK93, like this. And there are the small components for fixing the shield plate. From my perspective, such gadgets is only worth $15, but in reality, it is worth $825. Almost as much as the steel structure cost of my entire M2 PC-cockpit. Damn. Tired it. Let's fast forward a bit. As you can see, it has undergone phosphating and blackening treatment, together with the finished M2HB. Alright, begin the test. The collapsible M3 tripod extends from 7 feet to 4 feet, with a 440 pounds load capacity and self-weight of 44 pounds. And M2HB is 5'5" long. Now install machine gun, 84 pounds. It's a bit heavy. After locking, the machine gun is in a free rotation state. So next, install T&E for adjustable locking. Like this makes it stable. Now stand upright as a whole, weighing 128 pounds and almost 7 feet. But this is just the minimum configuration, so MK93 can be installed as a recoil buffer and ammunition box hanger. Otherwise, the box just sits on the ground, with the assistant gunner having to feed the belt by hand. Reinstall the machine gun and install the ammunition box rack. And ammunition box. This is the actual effect of the buffer. Then just wiggle your hand slightly. And can feel a bit of recoil. Well, at least it saves ammunition, isn't it? The current weight is about 180 pounds, including MK93 and ammunition box. And then there's this one. Usually nailed into the ground, the naval pedestal, and plus the wheeled tripod I added as an extra. It can also be replaced with a square iron plate underneath, or directly nail it to the floor of the pickup truck cargo hold. Mount the T&E again, and fine-tuning traverse or elevation. The world's longest sniper kill record, 2,500 yards. All they used was an M2HB with a scope, similar to this 6-power compact. Looks like this. Then install this expensive shield bracket. And conduct a basic disassembly inspection. In the previous video about making M2HB, I provided a detailed introduction to all the internal structures. If you're interested, welcome to watch my previous videos. Now put this $850 grip back on this $45,000 M2HB. Of course, just kidding, mine is only a model. The total cost is only 1%, that is $450. Moreover, the retail price of my M3 tripod is only $200, and the MK93 just $100. Then there's this $700 shield plate. Actually, only $50 is enough. When I have time, I will upgrade the shield to this level, and paired with $7,000 MK99 twin mount. Next up, priced at $3,499 in North America, my latest product, M2 PC-cockpit. Well, to be more precise, it's a configuration variant of the M2 cockpit from the previous episode, compared to the twin M2HB equipped Type A. At least Type B looks more normal and home-friendly now. Except for the overhead monitor arm, everything else is exactly the same. So I won't re-film the unboxing and assembly process this time. While operating a factory, producing all videos alone is truly hard work. But my more than 10 cockpit models, always behind me, as an important support. Let me not bend down or bow my head due to pressure. Someone asks, are PC cockpits just gimmick products, like snake oil or IQ tax? As the industry founder, I must admit the immaturity of a new industrial category as it attempts to challenge traditions. Like horse riders mocking the first-generation Benz. Of course, the social value of PC cockpits could never compare with inventing cars. But there's one common point. They are all efficiency-boosting buffs, not just laziness. When I got my first Windows 95 computer as a child, I think placing it on my desk is just habitual thinking, rather than a natural inevitability. And now young people today have worse computer skills than their parents. I'm convinced the global economic downturn directly correlates with declining average cognitive labor productivity. So trying to change something is the way to go. Of course, about trying to mount machine guns on computers, clearly not the proper way to go, just my personal preference. And what I'm trying to do is throw away the computer desk, not stacking devices on a table letting the body adapt to them. But in the most natural posture, let the devices actively fit the human. Like this flexible small keyboard tray, to accommodate different users' arm lengths and waist sizes. It should feature adjustable flexibility for forward or backward movement, and lateral sliding for continuous keyboard input, and clamping mechanisms to fit various keyboard dimensions, and flexible hinge mechanism, and ensure stability. Next comes the adjustable headrest, with integrated lighting and audio system. The motorized height adjustable monitor arm has always been the core soul of the My PC cockpit, and featuring 30 centimeters motorized longitudinal travel, accommodating various screen sizes and optimal viewing distances. Then come the independently motorized backrest, seat cushion, and calf rest, paired with a freely positionable monitor, maximum adaptability to different body sizes and postures, and a flexible keyboard pad that always follows in front of the abdomen, and multifunctional armrests on both sides replace rigid desks, together creating the ideal PC workstation for extended use. And computer as essential productivity tool does not mean that people are destined to bend down and tillage and condemned to lifelong cervicolumbar deterioration. But someone asked, why do you think this is the best solution? Admittedly, compared to a desk, the cockpit lacks flat surfaces for storage. But overall, the advantages far outweigh the limitations. While standing desks are trending now, but it's just tired of sitting, stand, and tired of standing, sit. And like massage chairs, only easing muscle fatigue after work. And traction chairs, only relieving disc pressure after herniation begins. So active prevention is key, but consciously maintaining posture is hard to sustain. Hence the birth of posture correctors, but sustain mandatory, obviously hard to sustain. Just like after 6 months of use, electric standing desks are hardly ever raised anymore, while massage chairs and treadmills eventually turn into shelves cluttered with random stuff. It's hard to expect something that you only use 4 minutes a day to truly change your life, because daily persistence is persistently hard. Obviously, the easiest daily persistence is lying in bed scrolling on your phone. This directly reduces materialistic aspirations, consumption, birth rates, travel frequency, and mental labor productivity on a global scale, extending to the rate of technological advancement and demonstrably contributing to the global economic slowdown. So what I pursue is not in comfort, making the computer cockpit surpass desks and chairs, must surpass lying in bed using a phone. Only then will folks actually use heavyweight software to get real shit done. Of course, I am not trying to condemn the development of mobile information technology. After all, within the next decade or two, as cloud computing matures, hardware-tiered performance disparities will diminish. With the convergence of mobile and desktop system, from smartphones to tablets, laptops to all-in-ones and desktops, will ultimately differ only in form size and operating habits, and in the more distant future. As brain-computer interface BCI technology matures, humans can certainly achieve in bed through imagination alone. The execution of complex cognitive tasks can be achieved, but this future is far more distant than people imagine. And even today, even mouse and keyboards cannot be replaced. Despite the maturity of touchscreens, touchpads, trackballs, VR, AR, and voice command technologies, users still crave the tactile feedback and precision of physical keyboards and mice. keyboard and mouse paired with large monitor still delivers the highest efficiency for human cognitive tasks, and it is undisputed. Any technology involving ergonomics generally develops slowly, like the M2HB, 100 years in service, and with at least 30 years to go. So much so that in humanity's most ambitious fantasies, even on an interstellar warship's bridge, you'd still find fixed seats in front of screens and controlling machine gun turrets. So, get an electric seat and enable people to control terminal devices, even while lying down. Is this really unbelievable? Take even Liang Wenfeng, DeepSeek's founder and a national treasure-level technical genius. He admits to daily alternating between coding while sitting and gasping on the floor. This is what's truly unacceptable. Whether possible or not, I must develop for him a maximum security, ultimate performance PC cockpit, and giving him that 10% buff. No matter what equipment it is. Even if it just gives him a 1% buff, it has at least $260 million in economic value and social significance. And that value is just for he alone. What about workers worldwide persevering at their desks? Alright, now, I'm going to shoot a video of modifying a Willys Jeep. Now only photos are available. And tweak the wireless Sentry turret blueprints for the upcoming videos. No way around it, it's all for the clicks. Luckily, as an export-oriented small business, a small-time amateur video maker like me always comes with a global advertising buff. If interested, contact our sales team anytime. We can deliver to your doorstep for most global regions. So, goodbye to the next episode of the Cluvens Lab.